Welcome to another money morning routine. Now, I was not going to do a money morning routine until Monday. I was going to take some time off for the holiday break, but I did a lot today that I really wanted to share. So the first thing, we're getting close to closing out our December budget and starting our January budget, starting that new year budget. So there's a couple of things I want to show you. One, I got all of my checking account spending. So I got all of my checking account spending updated. The next thing I want to do is I want to get updated with my cash spending. So let's start with that. Now there are two envelopes that I still have money in, my food and my household. I have yet to use household. People ask me, Miko, what do you use your household savings for or household cash envelope for? So this is my variable spending from my budget, $50. I like to use this for cleaning supplies, candles, home decor. Now, I don't spend a lot on home decor. I have accumulated things over the last 3 years, and I feel like I'm kind of in that phase where I'm not wanting to buy anything else. In fact, I'm wanting to kind of like declutter and get rid of stuff. But candles I do buy because I also make my own 100% beeswax candles. So I most of the time have my own that I've made. So that's what I use my household for. I haven't spent out of that, but I did spend out of food. So let's look at this. You can see when I spend from my cash envelopes, I just save my receipts so I can track it later. That way, sometimes life happens, right? And we don't always get to tracking our spending every day, and that's okay. Save your receipts for your cash spending. You can come back to it later, even a week later. You'll have your receipts. You'll know where that money went. I just save. So if I spend food, I save that receipt in my food envelope. So when I'm spending money, the receipt goes in the envelope that I'm spending from. Okay, quite a lot here. We got Chipotle, Panda Express. Oh, a lot of eating out. Okay, and we got a Yolks receipt here. So first and foremost, let's start by counting the food cash I have left. $481. So we have $481 left in my food spending, but I did notice a couple of fives for my $5 challenge. My $5 challenge, I'm going to be emptying out that jar and counting my fives. That's going to tell me how much I saved from doing the $5 challenge in this year. I'm going to be doing that the very last day of December, which is next week. So I'm going to put those right here for the moment. Put this money back in my food envelope. Okay, so let's write down where I did some shopping. So Yolks was on, Yolks was on $12.23. Pan Express was $12.23. And then Chipotle. So we did $12.23 Yolks, and I spent $194. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to stuff my $5 challenge jar with this. So I'm going to take today, which is $12.26, I believe. Yes, $5 challenge minus 10, leaving me $471. Okay, so I'm going to put these in my $5 challenge jar. So I'm going to scan these into Fetch Rewards. So those two are done. Food envelope has been updated. Now what we need to do is we need to track that in my cash expense tracker. Okay, so now my cash spending has been completely updated and tracked. Got it updated on my envelope so I know how much I have to spend in that category at any given time. And then I also have it on my cash expense tracker, which I'm going to use to close out my budget coming up very, very soon. Okay, so I am currently using the small size of the new Budget by Paycheck workbook that we just released in October, November. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the full size workbook starting in January. So I want to show you very quickly kind of some of the things that I got done for January. All right. So remember we talked about prepping our beginning pages of the workbook. That's all been done for me. I'm now jumping into January. Look what I did. I got my January budget calendar done, as well as wrote down some important, I'll be going over this, as well as I started my January budget for my paycheck that I'm receiving on the 1st. Now I've started, I need to finish. I'm going to be showing not only my January budget calendar and my budget, but all the other things that I'm doing to prepare my budget by paycheck workbook specifically for the new year, coming up on a reel on Instagram a little bit later. So I will be showing you that budget, because usually I do show me making my calendar and my budget. A couple of things with my calendar for January. The reason I really wanted to get this started is we have Chris has some travel. Chris is traveling to Palm Springs to do a baseball tournament. He's going to be gone the 17th to the 21st. Just going to be me and Dante here. Why do I write that down? Well, one, it affects my budget and my spending, right? Remember, Chris is no longer working full-time. We are very, very, very limited part-time working right now. So we had to work around, and we've talked about how we're managing money now as a married couple who, one person works, other one is really staying home to watch Dante. So that's going to affect our joint spending, our joint budget, as well as kind of a little bit, I have to use some of my vacation savings that I save for that. So also, we had Dante's 18-month checkup coming up as well. And we have 2 holidays. The only really big one that I believe we'll be spending money on is New Year's. We have New Year's Day on the 1st. I want to finalize my 2025 race schedule. I'm going to be spending money from that. That's why it's on my calendar page. You have to spend money for the race registration. So I want to get that finalized. So got that. But really getting this completely done has now allowed me to start the process of doing my paycheck budget. Your calendar should be the first thing that you do. You should not even be working on your paycheck budget or writing anything down for your budget until you have that calendar 100% done. This is what reminds you to bring real life back into your budget. Remember that budget is not just for paying the bills, even though we kind of associate with that, it's not. It's a tool that we use to make sure our money is working in the best way possible for our life. Not just our bills, but our life. Birthday parties, holidays, travel, all unexpected expenses that might pop up, sinking funds, all the things. If you're spending money in your life, no matter what it is, car repair, birthday parties, sleepovers, holidays, whatever it is, it should be written down on your budget calendar. That's why we have the dates here so you can mark all those different things. This is what's going to show you what you need to include in your upcoming budget, your paycheck budget. So you're going to write down on this form things that's happening over here on your calendar. Now, have you ever heard someone say, or have you possibly said in your own life, man, things just keep popping up that it's derailing my budget? Our lives are a lot more predictable than we think. We know a lot that's going to be happening more than we think and tell ourselves. This is going to help you so you're no longer saying that out loud. So you're no longer saying, hey, things are popping up in my budget, or things are popping up and it's derailing my budget. It's not in my budget. This is going to help you with that. So you are 100% prepared for all those scenarios and all those things that are truly happening in your life. So that is my morning routine.